Kelly Ripa had always been the unofficial CEO of Christmas in the Consuelos household. From the color-coded wrapping papers to the carefully scheduled cookie decorating nights, she carried holiday enthusiasm like it was part of her DNA. So, when she breezed into the living room one chilly December morning wearing a red robe and holding a steaming mug of peppermint mocha, Mark Consuelos could tell something was different. She was quiet, thoughtful, suspiciously still. "Mark," she finally said, fixing him with the same serious look she used whenever he forgot an anniversary. "I have a radical idea." Mark put down his protein shake. "Should I sit down?" "You are sitting." He nodded. "Then go ahead, hit me." Kelly took a breath like she was preparing to announce a global decision. "I think we should skip buying Christmas gifts for the kids this year." Mark blinked hard. "The kids, as in our kids." "No, Mark, the neighborhood kids," she deadpanned. "Yes, our kids." Mark leaned back with a stunned expression, as if she had just suggested canceling December altogether. "Kelly, are you feeling okay? Should I check your temperature?" She rolled her eyes. "I'm perfectly fine. I'm just saying they're adults. They're old. They have jobs. They have apartments. They have lives. Do we really need to buy them presents like they're still 8 years old making macaroni ornaments?" Mark thought about this. Their children, Michael, Lola, and Joaquin, were indeed grown, responsible, independent, and admittedly not entirely thrilled by socks or sweaters anymore. "Define old," Mark said. Kelly raised a brow. "Old enough that I shouldn't have to order emergency gifts on December 23rd because someone suddenly decided they needed a new coat." "Which one was that?" Mark asked. Kelly didn't blink. "All of them." Mark laughed, but Kelly was serious. This wasn't a whimsical idea. It was a holiday crisis of philosophy, one she had clearly been brewing over for weeks. A household divided over Christmas spirit. As the day went on, Kelly continued to build her case with the energy of a lawyer preparing for trial. "Think about it," she said as she reorganized the ornaments again. "They're grown. We've given them gifts for over 2 decades. They don't need toys anymore. They don't need gadgets. They certainly don't need more sweaters." Mark followed behind her, gently placing ornaments back in the spots she had moved them from. "Okay, but part of Christmas is tradition. They'll expect gifts." "But why?" Kelly exclaimed. "Why does society expect parents to give adults gifts? We're the ones who should get gifts. We've survived raising them. We've earned it." Mark laughed so hard he nearly dropped a glass gingerbread ornament. "So, what you're saying is, we should reverse Christmas." "Not reverse," Kelly corrected, tapping her chin. "Reimagine." Mark shook his head, amused. "Kelly, it sounds like you want to retire from Christmas responsibilities." Kelly shrugged dramatically. "I've donated 12 years of my life exclusively to wrapping paper alone. 12 years, Mark." "That's not how math works," Mark gently offered. "It feels like 12. By the afternoon, Kelly was fully committed to her now official proposal. Christmas gifts for adult children should be revised, if not eliminated altogether. She even sketched out a presentation on her tablet titled "The Case Against Holiday Gift Giving" for the over 21 population. Slides included bullet points such as, "They're old. They already have everything. They only pretend to like our gifts. Experiences stuff. They actually owe us for raising them." Mark couldn't help smiling. Kelly's mind was a whirlwind of festive logic, hilariously earnest and impossible to argue with. But Mark wasn't ready to concede. Mark's counterargument, tradition matters. By evening, he had prepared his own countercase. Literally. "Before we abolish Christmas as we know it," Mark said, as he stood in front of the fireplace like he was giving a press conference, "we need to remember what gifts symbolize." Kelly crossed her arms and leaned back on the couch. "This better not be a TED Talk." "Tears will be shed," Mark warned. Kelly snorted. "Yours." "Maybe." He cleared his throat dramatically. "Christmas gifts represent love, celebration, togetherness, and let's be honest, Our kids show up on time for Christmas morning only because of presents. Kelly had to admit he had a point. Plus, Mark continued, wagging a finger, we're not just giving gifts, we're creating memories. Kelly rolled her eyes. Memories? They forget who gave them what by January 2nd. But we remember, Mark countered. Kelly paused. She knew he was right. She remembered every Christmas, the chaos, the laughter, the last-minute wrapping, the kids' excited faces even now that they were grown. She couldn't let go of Christmas magic entirely. She didn't want to. But she also wanted something new. Something less exhausting. The Great Compromise. Later that night, after some stubborn silence and a bowl of popcorn, they revisited the debate. Okay, Kelly said, softening. Maybe we don't skip gifts, but can we at least change the system? Mark glanced at her cautiously. What kind of change are we talking? Kelly took a moment. Something simpler, something meaningful, something that doesn't require me to wrap 87 gifts and hide them all over the house. Mark nodded slowly, like one gift per kid. Kelly perked up. One good gift, thoughtful, useful, not something that gets stuffed in a drawer. And we can still give them Christmas stockings, Mark added. Kelly pointed a warning finger. But smaller stockings, no more Costco-sized candy hauls. Mark raised his hands in surrender. Agreed. And, Kelly continued, we should introduce a new tradition. Mark tilted his head. What kind? A family activity instead of piles of presents. Something we actually do together. Like a Christmas Eve dinner we cook together, or a trip, or a game night. Mark's face warmed with a slow smile. I like that. Kelly shrugged modestly. I'm full of good ideas. I just needed you to see the vision. So no skipping gifts entirely, Mark teased. Not entirely, Kelly replied. Just modernizing Christmas. Telling the kids. The next morning, they called a family group chat. Michael responded with a single. Lola immediately wrote, Are you guys getting divorced? Joaquin simply sent a gif of someone fainting. Relax, Kelly said over